Kaya nunak mudich kulinga. Wanju nganmord buja, wanju wajak buja. Hello to all you mudich, awesome children out there. And welcome to this place, the place of the Wajak people. This is the place of my ancestors. I'm here today to read a very, very wonderful book for you. And I've got some very special guests behind me as well, who are going to be listening in. This book is called The Deep by Tim Winton and illustrated by Karen Louise. And my special friends, we call them Stripies. And we'd like you to know that reading can take you anywhere. And today, reading has taken me to Aqua. The Deep by Tim Winton, illustrated by Karen Louise. Alice lived by the sea. She played every day in the sand dunes and on the beach near her house. Even though she was the youngest in her family, she wasn't scared of many things. Snakes, spiders didn't bother her. She wasn't scared of the dark. She didn't worry too much about thunder and lightning. But she was afraid of the deep. Every morning, Alice's father went down to the jetty for a swim. Her mum dived in and scooted along like a torpedo. Her dad made huge belly flops that wet everyone, even the seagulls in the air. But Alice watched from the jetty. The water looked so beautiful. It went all greeny blue out there. It was so deep you couldn't see the bottom. Every day, Harry called to her, "Come on, Alice, it's great, jump in." It did look fun. They looked like dolphins, her family, and she wanted to be one of them, but she was scared of the deep. Some mornings, Alice lay on the jetty to watch the real dolphins swim by. She stretched an arm through the big smooth planks to touch them, but she couldn't reach. She saw schools of whitebait racing out from the shallows. She watched jellyfish float by, hardly moving at all. She picked mussels from the piles and saved them for lunch. She hung around on the jetty, doing lots of things. But she didn't jump into the deep. Alice wished she could be a seagull so she could fly out over the deep and see forever. "Swimming's like flying," said Harry. "Watch this." He pulled a mask on and snorkel and glided down through the water, rising and turning in the current, like a gull in the wind. Alice could see what he meant. She wished she could be like him. But he was older. Sometimes, Alice let her dad piggyback her out of the shallows and into the deep. He was like a big old horse swimming under her. She held on tight to his hair and was only a tiny bit afraid. "Come on, Alice," everyone called. "You can do it. Let go. Just pretend you're in the shallows." Alice wanted to, but she couldn't. She didn't want to be scared of anything. Being afraid of the deep made her miserable. Sometimes, Alice got sick of being frightened. She dog paddled around in the shallows for a while. Then, she took a deep breath and headed out to where the others were diving and splashing. She tried to be brave when the water began to change from green to blue, but she turned back every time. She waded to the beach and sat down and cried. She turned her back so no one would see. She hated being small, being stuck in the shallows. She could swim, couldn't she? So why couldn't she swim in the deep? One morning, while Alice was on the beach digging, the dolphins came right up into the warm shallows, chasing whitebait and bony herring. The little fish made fountains as they leapt in the air, trying to escape. Some even bounced off Alice before falling back into the water. Alice threw down her spade and waded towards the dolphins. They were nearly close enough to touch. One of them slapped the water with its tail. Alice dived in after it and chased it under the water a little way. Other dolphins wheeled and swerved around her. She pushed her head clear of the water and paddled after them as fast as she could. Each time she got close, giggling and panting, the dolphins surged away. The water got bluer and bluer. The dolphins dived and leapt together into the air. Alice laughed. The water was like a silk sheet around her. It was the most wonderful feeling in the world. Then, something bobbed against her. It wasn't a dolphin. It was Harry. He popped up beside her, spouting from his snorkel. "Told you it was easy," he said, sounding like he had a peg on his nose. "What?" said Alice. "What's easy?" "The deep. You're swimming in the deep." Alice went stiff. Suddenly, all she could think of was the great darkness below. She began to sink. Harry dived again and brought her sputtering back up to the surface. Then, everyone was around her. She was in the deep. The deep! "Swim," they all yelled, laughing. "It's just water." Alice got the giggles. She forgot about the dolphins. She didn't even think about what colour the water was or how far down it went. She just kept going. Her arms and legs spun like wheels. They were right. It was just water. You could swim in the deep just as easily as you could in the shallows. She could. Alice grunted and puffed and scrambled all the way to the jetty and the safety of the ladder. She grabbed hold fiercely and hung on, huffing and giggling nervously. Her whole body tingled. And then she turned around and swam back out to the others, to the deep, the deep, the deep. And that's the story of The Deep by Tim Winton and illustrations by Karen Louise.